Hey guys, welcome along. Thanks for tuning in. Here it is. This is the one I've been after, the Junkers J-1. And yeah, I got this on eBay. It's got a little bit of box damage, but I mean, I'm going to build it, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I paid just over £100 for this, which is I don't know. It's a lot more than it was, and but it's a pretty good price. And there's one on now for 140. Buy it now. So yeah, I'm pleased anyway. If another one came up at that price, I'd pay it. So yeah. So right, Junkers J-1. I thought I'd do a bit of a look up on it, and I found there is not a single video review of this kit on eBay anywhere. It first became available in 2009 from Wingnut Wings. It's their first kit, 320001, and it's just sold out May 2018. If you'd have asked me, I thought it sold out, 2015 or something, but no, it's only recently sold out a few months ago, this being the 2nd of November 2018. So yeah, came in a post today, really chuffed. If you're into Wingnut Wings and you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe, because it is my intention to do a lot of reviews. I've bought a lot of Wingnut Wings kits lately, which is a bit naughty, but never mind. And I intend to do some reviews on most of them. The big barrier I have is knowing the value of these kits and how they increase once they've gone out of production. I'm kind of worried about cutting the bags open, but it has to be done, and I'm going to do it on this one now. So, bit of history on this aircraft. I've done a bit of digging and diving, and found a few bits and pieces out. Something I never knew. This is actually not a biplane. It's called a sesquiplane, and what that means is the area of the upper wing is actually more than double the area of the lower wing. So it's no longer a biplane or a monoplane. It's a sesquiplane, and also this was what actually ended up as the later version of this was the first all-metal airplane. This one actually has a steel armoured front section. It's a duralumin frame. The whole thing is duralumin frame, aluminium. And then you've got an aluminium skin on the wings and on the tailplanes and everything. This is armoured steel, and then this was all covered canvas on the back. On the later ones, they went for the corrugated aluminium all over the thing. And Junkers actually stayed, as you know, with the Ju-52 and everything, they stayed with corrugated aluminium right the way up into the 30s. Like I say, it's got a steel bathtub up the front, aluminium wings. Is it starting to sound familiar to you? Yeah, Sturmovik. The Sturmovik, basically the same, two-man crew. Started off with a wooden rear fuselage and then went to aluminium rear fuselage. Aluminium wings. Some had wooden panels on the wings, I believe, the Sturmovik, but they all had an armoured tub, the cockpit, for the cockpit, the gunner, and the engine. So yeah, funny that. And now, of course, we've got the A10, which is well, it's the same thing. It's a ground attack aircraft. This is what this was fundamentally designed for. But yeah, I think the A10 and the Sturmovik were a bit better than this at ground attack. No cables. This was all done with push rods and bell cranks, all the operating the control surfaces. There were no cables on this at all, so that was a big difference. It made it more robust and less easy to take out. There were two fuel tanks. It had a fuel tank up in the upper wing, which could gravity feed the engine, but there's also a fuel tank in the fuselage, and you'll see in a minute, it's actually the pilot's seat. It looks like a bloody great big comfy armchair, but it's actually the fuel tank, so I expect the pilots were happy about that. They nicknamed it the furniture van, the pilots of this aircraft at its time, because it was built like a brick shithouse and slow. So it was used on the Western Front in 1917, 1918, and mainly it was used for the army and dropping food rations and stuff, because for army cooperation, because as a ground attack aircraft it was proved not to be very successful. Apparently Junkers were in a bit of a state in their time with getting production numbers out, so they only ever made 227, of which only one complete example exists now in Canada. If you ask me, if you look at it, it's a complete, well, yeah, most of it's left. There are pictures of it in the instruction manual that we'll see in a minute, and you can also go online and see it, and perhaps I'll pop a picture up here now. So there you go. This is the rest. The rest. It's not restored. It's just the complete aircraft given to the Canadians at the end of the war, end of the First World War. Yeah, 227 made, only one remaining. There is a fuselage section actually in Berlin that you'll see photographs of in here in the manual. Some say that none of these were ever lost to ground attack, or none of these were actually lost in combat, although Wikipedia claims that one was lost due to French anti-aircraft guns. But as I say, most say that none were lost. So there we go. That's a brief history about the aircraft itself. Let's have a quick look inside the box. This box, I don't know if you can see it here, but it is so crammed the lid won't even stay down. So yeah. And the thing that shocked me, because I've had a quick look inside, I haven't taken any sprues out of the bags or even been through the instructions. Everything is still sealed as new. But the thing that got me the most is when you look at this. Look at the size of these wing sections. These are the early Wingnut wing kits, had the upper and lower wing sections just as everybody else does. So when you actually look at the size of them, I mean, there's my hand. It's quite incredible. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I mean, look at the chord of that centre section on that wing. Look at that. As long as my forefinger. You know, there's 4, 5. The fuselage section, you see, it's not actually that much of a monster in lengthwise, but it's a 500mm wingspan on this. So then, there's all the sprues. Instruction book still in the bag, all sealed up. This is J-1. Clear sprue there with just the one part on it. I won't be taking that one out of the bag. And as usual with Wingnut Wings, a bloody massive decal sheet. Is there more than one? I think there is just the one in this one. Yes, we've got a great big decal sheet just covered in crosses and all the different aircraft labelling numbers here. There's the labels for the wheels. And we can see here Wingnut Wings 2007, that says. I thought it came out in 2009. But, so there we go, yeah. And there's some photo etch there. As I say, this is 32001. It's their first ever kit. So what was it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sprues, all individually bagged. So what we'll do is we'll get this open and we'll have a look at some of the plastic close up, and we'll have a go through the instruction manual as well. Okay, so here we are, the instruction manual out of the bag. Cringe. Yeah, so we've got a lovely booklet here, usual Wingnut Wing style, and yeah, bearing in mind this is their first, they obviously came up with a good solution at the start, because they've basically followed suit with everything since. So on the front of the book, we've just got ourselves some wording here about, you know, the aircraft and its history. I've just noticed here it talks about the A10 Thunderbolt. We've got all the specifications here. We do get the options of the LMG-14 or the 1417 machine gun, so we've got that in the kit as well. And it's telling you here, look up Wingnut Wings. Got some reference details down here. It's in the Deutsches Technik Museum, Berlin, Germany, and it's in the Canada Aviation Museum, Ottawa, Canada. 1914 to 1918 Aviation Heritage Trust private collections. That's interesting. Maybe that's for some of the ancillaries and stuff. So start off by saying sorry about lighting here, guys, because if I put the full lighting on, all you get is a load of reflections. See, like this, it's just ridiculous. So this is one of the advanced, glossy magazines and manuals are great, but for reviewers they're a complete and utter nightmare. Well, they are for me with my bloody crap lighting set up anyway. So the thing is, though, I can't see. Light is light, so whatever lighting you've got, you're going to get reflection. If somebody can come on here and please tell me how to stop this glare problem, please do so, because I'd love to know. So, yeah, first page we've got our colour call-outs. Now, these days you get Tamiya Humbrol and FS numbers. In the old days you used to get this Mr. Kit company that manufactured paints for World War I aircraft, I believe. quick look around online, and I don't seem to be able to find anything that that they're still going. So they did some lovely colours as well, because as you can see here, like with the purple and the light blue here, you've got to mix them, whereas Mr. Kit made the right colours. There's also medium grey green, which is the green for the camouflage. So yeah, be interesting to see if this is still available or somebody else is doing a similar thing. But as long as it's not MIG by Ammo, or Ammo by MIG, whatever it's called, I'd rather use bloody Dulux. So sprue call out. Surprisingly, we've got parts here which are unused. Now, bearing in mind this kit, I mean this sprue here would be dedicated only to the Junkers J-1. I can understand having, you know, machine gun and engine parts unused, but actual parts of the aircraft not used, does that mean we've got another one coming? Or did they just mistakenly put these parts on the sprue needlessly? I don't know, but it would be lovely to think we've got another J1 coming out, or maybe one with a, you know, the complete steel or the aluminium fuselage. So and then we get into this gorgeous part of these Wingnut Wings manuals with all the colour and everything you could ever need. When you buy a Wingnut Wings kit, they're not the cheapest, but the moulding, as you'll see in a minute, is absolutely fantastic. The instruction manual is not just an instruction sheet like you get with Airfix or Revell or any other manufacturer, really. Like even Tamiya, their manuals are nice, but they're not a patch on this. You're getting all your colour guides, all your colour call-outs all the way through, all your optional parts all the way through. Everything's there for you. And then at the end here, you can see what they do. They're giving you basically a CAD model of the coloured parts, how they're going to look. So you know that, I mean, you can't use this as a colour match obviously, but you know that you're going to have wood grain here, and then you've got some I don't know, this purple colour is depicting something, and then you've got the green around the floor and the sides of the fuselage and everything, you know. So it's bloody wonderful. It's gorgeous how they do it. And then you've got up here, like I was saying, the fuel tank, great big armchair for the pilot, and that's the fuel tank he sat in, so I'm sure that was great. It'd be lovely if a bullet went in there, wouldn't it? Or a piece of ammunition went in there and caught fire, and you're sat there trying to bring the plane home. I doubt that ever happened. So yeah, we've got the different options here. One thing I would say with Wingnut Wings, you know, at the beginning it says, every kit manufacturer, at the beginning of the manual it says, read the instructions fully before beginning construction. I would do that with Wingnut Wings, because usually from the first or second page, as you see here, you know, you're going straight into your options. So you need to know before you even start what option you're going to do. So it's good. Some people say, oh God, you know, I don't know, I don't want to decide before I start. But you know, if you take like Takom for instance, their kits, they will have different options, and you'll have different parts required and different parts to be removed. And what they do is they don't tell you in the instructions. All the parts are there in the instructions, but they don't tell you. It's like if a tank has a certain idler wheel for version A, B and C, and another idler wheel for D, E and F, it just shows you both idler wheels. It doesn't tell you which is which. Whereas Wingnut Wings are actually, you know, they're taking you through. They're holding your hand all the way through. Photo etch belts here. I've actually ordered the HGW belts for this one, because I do love those linen belts. And then it's showing you, you know, here, remove the stitching for a certain version only, and use the photo etch here for that version only. Holes vary between aircraft. You know, it's so detailed and so, you know, so together. It's incredible. Here we are, fuselages together, adding lower wing, putting on these struts. I'd be tempted to leave those struts off until it's all painted, because otherwise you're going to be trying to get an airbrush in behind there and down in behind there. I'd be tempted to leave those off. Let's see if you can do that. Then we're assembling the tail plane. We've got separate control surfaces, look, so we can actually pose them angled. And here I'm assuming they're telling you they go up. Maybe you cut these off if you want to put them down or something. I don't know. We'll have a look when we see the plastic. So yeah, we've got the rudder, the fin and the rudder going here. Little stays going on the side. Rear skid going on. Again, all the colours all called out. Every little bit and piece, every little piece you need. Onto the engine. Again, beautifully instructions showing you each part is blue as you add it, you know, all the way through. Then a really fantastic colour call out, picture of the complete engine there, the real thing. If you are going to build this all closed up, you won't see most of this engine because it's got the armour plating around it, but if you're going to have it with it open, you know, the sky's the limit. You can add plug leads and all sorts to this. This is the Benz 4 engine. It's used in a lot of their kits. So Wingnut Wings have actually got a generic sprue for that engine that goes in lots of kits. You can see upper and lower wing sections. We've got some additional spars to add there to add some rigidity to the centre wing section. Add in some struts, attaching the upper centre section. I may be tempted with this one to actually build the complete upper wing, paint the lower fuselage, the lower wing with the free fuselage, and then put them both together afterwards. So I'm not sure I'd want to do it like this. Undercarriage, fairly simple construction. I should imagine it's got to be pretty strong to support those massive wings. Don't glue the wheels. What's this saying here? Glue wheel cover to tyre, glue washer to axle. But okay, they'll tell you to glue a washer onto the axle, then glue the cover on, but allow the wheel to rotate if you're that way inclined. If you need your wheels to turn, then fine. Choose two different exhausts, and then here showing those engine covers. As I said, they're open, they're closed. You could have one open, one closed if you wanted to. Add in the prop and the spinner, and then here's a photograph of the engine bay opened with three proud mechanics or pilots or whatever. Then here we are assembling the outer wing sections and bolting them on. Putting together the machine gun, again with all these lovely colour call outs. Oh, this one doesn't have the cooling jacket, so a bit different from a lot of the other machine guns. Sorry, I'm a novice to World War I. I don't know a lot about it yet, but I will learn as time goes on. And there we go, adding the machine gun, and that's pretty much it. Not sure what this elephant's... Oh, that's telling you to use cyanacrylate glue to glue the bits and pieces on there. So here we go, Wingnut Wings with their bloody beautiful photographs. Yeah, showing the thick wing profile. It's got quite a meaty wing cord on it. Displays its camouflage top surfaces. See that there? And then we're into all the different options. So we've basically got the same. We don't have an option in here to have the corrugated rear fuselage. All of them have the linen covered duralumin frame. But no doubt they'll bring one out with the later fuselage. So you can see here they're all pretty much the same with the light blue underside, and then this one's just a plain green upper surfaces. This one's got the lovely purple and green camouflage. Okay, so that's A, B, and D are the same on the top. A, B, C, D and E are all the same on the bottom. So as I say, they're all the same underneath. And then you've got C and E have got this camouflage version, so that's C and E. And then we've got D again, is this green just on its own. So yeah, have a look at that, pause, and have a little think about which one you'd do. Then we go into the photographs. These colour photographs here are from the fuselage. It's in Berlin. There's some wording up here. It's telling you that the complete aircraft is in Canada. The fuselage is in Berlin. It says down here the painting is inaccurate, and they've painted it like a bloody tricolour tank. But apparently it's been repainted since these photos were done. Here's the aluminium skin on the wings, the duralumin skin. This duralumin skin was actually 7.5 thou thick. That's 0.19 millimeters. So many years later, along came the Valkyrie, and that had a stainless steel skin, which was also 7 thou thick. So yeah, but stainless steel. This is aluminium or duralumin. So showing you some lovely colour photographs of here's the duralumin frame that goes underneath the linen rear end, and it's showing you this is the back of the armoured area for the gunner. Armoured steel front half there, or front section. You can see here what's left of the wings. This is while it was in storage, I believe. Cockpit here, actual real proper wood colour. So there we go. I'm sort of all torn about this with this wood. Some people seem to do it extremely dark, and some seem to do it extremely light. This almost looks like a kind of decorative stained piece of plywood here, but you know, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. That's real. And this is an unrestored aircraft. So you know, we've got a proper old black and white picture there. You can see the control horns and the rods and everything. So you can see there's no cables. It's all done with these rods. That'll be fun to build because that's going to be in the kit. This is that's the fuselage, the fuel tank there where the cockpit seat goes in. You can see it's like a big armchair. And then we've got some photographs of crashed examples. Crash there's another one there. Recovered this heavy aircraft after the almost obligatory landing accident presented a few more problems than most aircraft of the Great War. So it was a big old beast. Yeah, people talk about the A-10. For me, when I look at this, I see two aircraft, Stuka and the Sturmovik, and the more the Sturmovik than the Stuka. It's almost like the same guy designed it, isn't it? It is, in my opinion, anyway. Here we've got one with the hole in the side here, so some removed canvas. And then yeah, just typical, as usual, Wingnut Wings, beautiful photographs, period photographs, which you can't argue with. And then we've got the four guys that came up with this lovely kit. And there we have it. So that's the end of the instructions. Right, on with the sprues. I'm going to start with this one, sprue C. This is the little windscreen that comes in there. Don't want to get this one out of the bag because I don't want it to get broken off or fractured or anything. So yeah, you can see it's lovely little clear part, very, very thin and beautifully moulded. And bearing in mind, guys, if it says somewhere 2007, this kit is 11 years old, so you know we have to go easy on it a little bit, but I don't think we really need to. So we can see sprue A here, it's got the wheels on it, wheel centres, there's the fuel tank, the seat, rear skid. Something I like about the Wingnut Wings kit, they seem to simplify assembly by trying not to over-engineer and make a million different parts to make one assembly. You can see here, these are all moulded together, and this fuel tank is sort of pretty much all moulded together. These skid assemblies, you know, a lot of other manufacturers would make that a separate part to that fairing there, you know, and yeah, it's nice that they sort of do that. And then if you look back at my Fokker E4 build, you'll see the engine. It's beautiful, you know, it's fairly simple construction. It's nothing complex, but the detail they managed to incorporate into the parts, it just makes it so gorgeous. So let's have a close-up look here. I'm just looking here. I'm wondering if this part is actually broken. This one here, I'll have to have a look at that. We can see one of the ejector tabs has broken off. This is something else Wingnut Wings is renowned for. I'm not sure what it's going to be like on this kit, but they don't seem to put ejector pin marks anywhere they're going to be seen, and they do tend to use these little ejector pin stubs to get it out of the mould. So yeah, it's just gorgeous. You turn it over, have a look at the back side. Looks like there's no lettering on the tyres that I can see. Some kind of radiator end cap by the look of it. Almost looks like an end cap off a intercooler for a turbocharged race car, doesn't it? Radio gear here. Not quite sure what that is. Some sort of part of the ammunition, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, beautifully detailed, beautifully made, beautifully moulded, beautifully designed, beautifully engineered. Just bloody gorgeous. Sprue B has got the main fuselage halves on it. So we can see here the lovely detail in the stitching. Very, very, you can hear that. Very, very sharp, beautifully done. With dry brushing and a wash and everything, it'll look incredible. Some of the supports here made in one piece rather than in halves. Unfortunately, these are in halves here. But if you remember, it's telling you to move part of this, and there's a photo etch to replace this, and for different versions. Got the spinner on the front there. Some pipe work, obviously, for the engine bay, and then some more of the one-piece struts there. Again, no ejector pin marks anywhere they're going to be seen. Oh, hold on. Here we go. They have got some on the inside of the fuselage here. They're very slight, and they are raised, so they should be able to be sanded out. But there we go. There's the proof of early Wingnut Wing. This is obviously when they were still learning. You wouldn't find that in any Wingnut Wings kit today, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, these here I think will be out of sight because they're going to be behind a bulkhead, but those there I think will be visible. So let's take them out anyway, because I think this is where the wood, or is this, no, this is the wood panel here and here, isn't it? This is the armoured plating. So yeah, they're going to have to come out anyway. So not the end of the world. So here we go. I've actually found ejector pin marks in the Wingnut Wings kit that are going to be visible as a first. So this is sprue D, I believe. Sprue D? Yes, sprue D. And this is the tail planes, and we can see the beautifully rendered corrugated sheeting there. If I give you a close-up shot, you'll see all the lovely rivet detail and everything on there. Rivets in between the corrugated sheeting. Very, very real to life. Very, very beautifully done. Very, very in scale. So yeah, if you built this as a beat up aircraft, I think it would look bloody stunning with a wash and some dry brushing and some pigments on it. Great. There's that. Looks like it's part of a bulkhead there, which is beautifully moulded with the rivet detail and everything on it. If you're into Wingnut Wings, you've seen these sprues a million times. This is sprue E and G. So this is your guns. Oh, they do give you photo etch for these guns. And I should have looked hard in the instructions, shouldn't I? But you do get the option. You see, this gun here just has the barrel. This one has the cooling jacket. So you get this tool there to roll a phosphor. Where do I get phosphor from? Photo etched brass around that, and that gives you the photo etched brass cooling jacket for better accuracy. And then we've got some more guns here. You just turn over and see the detail on the reverse side. Beautiful engine detail. Lovely moulding on these cylinders. And there's some different cylinders here. So obviously two of these aren't going to get used, so you'll have some parts for your spares box. One exhaust system there. Oh no, that's an inlet manifold, isn't it? There's another inlet manifold there. Yeah, really, really nice. There's the sump. Everything about these kits is just bloody gorgeous. A close look there. There's some valve spring detail by the look of it. It's valve train detail anyway. Yeah, I can't see any valve spring detail on there. Yeah, there it is. You can see it down in there. Maybe going from this side. Yep. Lovely. Then we've got sprue F. And this is that huge wing centre section. I don't know if I can capture it on the camera, but you can see it's got a hell of a profile on it. It's very, very fat wing section. Gives it a hell of a presence on the display bench, I can tell you that. We've got the armoured panelling there for the sides of the engine. Not sure about the detail on the inside yet. It's on there. Once again, ejector pin marks, which you wouldn't get these days. So yeah, at least they've done it and learnt and listened to modelers that, you know, that moan about this sort of thing. I also like the way that, I mean, they'd never do it with this wing, but now Wingnut Wings do the all their wings as one section. There's no top and bottom halves, so you just get one piece of plastic. Then this will be sprue H, and these are the lower wings. You can see the difference now in size. If I look at the upper wing section compared to the lower wing section, you can see how much bigger it is. You look, this is the centre section for the lower wing, and there's the centre section for the upper wing. So yeah, it's going to look a beautiful model when it's built. There's one of the exhaust systems there, we can see, and there's the other one there. So this is the racy aerodynamic laid back one. This is just the vertical tractor style stack. So yeah, and once again we've got that lovely ribbing and rivet detail there. So really, really nice. Look at the detail. That's going to look gorgeous, especially when you had started some chipping where the pilots have been jumping on it to get in and out. So Yeah, nice linen covered rudder there. Yeah, gorgeous. So here's the final sprue. These are the wing outer sections. First I've seen in a Wingnuts kit, this part was broken off the sprue, so I've taped it back on with some Tamiya tape so I don't lose it. But, yeah, once again, beautiful detail, lovely ribbing. Sorry, it's not ribbing, is it? It's corrugated sheet, but the riveting detail is gorgeous. Yeah. Maybe you could help me in the comments below if you know, if you build Wingnut Wings kits. I've heard rumours that the decals are very difficult to settle down. Apparently you don't use, even though they're cartographed, you don't use your setting solutions until they've dried or something, and I should imagine getting them to settle down on this would be quite difficult. If you could please let me know in the comments below, or link me to another website or another video that goes on about Wingnut Wings transfers, I'd be interested to know, because you know, making them settle on this is going to be a total nightmare and I don't really want to mess it up. In fact, what I might do is use one of the, before I paint it, use one of the version decals I'm not going to use and practice with basically what would be a spare decal. So yeah, that might be something I'll do. But anyway, if you give me some advice in the comments down below, I'd be ever so grateful. So there we have, that's the final sprue, and then just one final quick look, and this is the photo etch that you get. And no, there are no cooling jackets for the guns, so obviously they don't use them. So there we have it, there's the lovely big decal sheet, and there's bound to be some spares on there. Okay, so there we have it, all back in the box now. In fact, I've managed to get it back in the box better than it was originally, I think. Oh no, it still doesn't want to close properly. What do I think of this kit? I love it. What do you think of it? You tell me in the comments below. It's beautifully moulded. I bet it's going to fit together like a dream. I know it looks amazing built up. It's like a big tank. It just oozes aggression. It's a beautiful looking thing on the modelling on the show table, and it's going to build like a dream. So yeah, there we have it. 32001 is the kit number. Wingnut Wings, Junkers J-1. Unavailable, sold out since May this year, but there's going to be loads in people's stashes and you'll get it in shows and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for staying awake if you've managed to stay awake, and if you like what you've seen, then please subscribe and keep your eyes out for more Wingnut Wings and likewise. So yeah, I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye bye.